you said I'm cheating for no reason.
You will cheat. One day he will do. I don't care if it's ping pong, he gonna
Right,
get it.
like how I'm
If
cheating.
it's ping pong, he want the advantage in the paddles.
I don't care about a paddle.
You figure out how to win.
I'm gonna win. Ain't no figure out. I'm gonna win.
A hell of an experience. You get that type of knowledge, that type of IQ.
I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. That's how I feel about myself.
You see me around a lot. Don't act like you ain't seen me around
Them days.
He said that I do.
Bud, come on. Terence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
Straight boom. Straight shot. Like right here. Right here.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he need to soak up, put it into his arsenal.
Terence Crawford is reportedly training with Shakur Stevenson as Stevenson prepares for his upcoming fight against Teofimo Lopez, and Crawford has been vocal about what he's witnessing. He praises Stevenson's elite speed, sharp defense, and high-level ring intelligence, noting that these qualities make him extremely difficult to defeat. According to Crawford,
go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. Sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's gonna be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to.
Inside Shakur Stevenson's camp, Terence Crawford plays a key role in sharpening his skills, sharing techniques, and emphasizing the importance of learning something from every fighter. Stevenson absorbs these lessons by studying and practicing a wide range of strategies, which further enhances his adaptability and ring control. Beyond the technical work, the time spent together.
Shakur. Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. Shakur's different. People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive.
Chris Algieri stresses the importance of elite fighters facing one another, regardless of the risks involved. He believes true growth only comes from challenging the best, where skills are genuinely tested. According to Algieri, taking risks, even suffering losses, does not diminish a fighter's talent or legacy. Instead, setbacks provide valuable lessons in adjustment.
It's like a black kind of thing, like, no disrespect. Like, it's like, like when you go to cookouts and all your family be sitting there playing spades and
Teddy Atlas comes to the defense of both Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez amid long-standing criticism that they avoided top competition. He notes that many critics were quick to claim their records were padded or that they lacked the courage to face elite opponents. Atlas argues that this narrative is outdated and unfair, emphasizing that both fighters have repeatedly shown a willingness to step into high-level matchups. Their skill, speed, and strategic intelligence make them dangerous contenders, not fighters running from challenges. According to Atlas, Stevenson and Lopez have consistently sought opportunities to test themselves, proving that the
of boxing on this side of the world. Listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big of a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made. And putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say.
I mean,
yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to kind of to poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo is going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him.
But I'll tell you what. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out, and this is going to be.
Paulie Malignaggi highlights how Teofimo Lopez often faces skepticism and is frequently underestimated ahead of major fights. He explains that much of this stems from Shakur Stevenson's higher profile within the sport. Stevenson commands more media attention, enjoys a larger fan base, and carries greater visibility overall. While Lopez possesses explosive power, speed, and undeniable talent, those traits can be overshadowed by the spotlight surrounding Stevenson. Malignaggi notes that the comparison isn't always fair, as Lopez has proven himself against strong competition time and again. He warns that overlooking Lopez's abilities could be a costly mistake for anyone. Stevenson
Teofimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite. They will make, for electricity. I don't know if they will. But I'll tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Zepeda, being elusive while being aggressive, walking them down, fighting on the inside, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight, and it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about. And they wanted.
Boxing analyst Wade points out that Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez have likely spent significant time studying each other's styles, given their similar paths through the sport. While both fighters are highly skilled, Wade emphasizes that their approaches inside the ring are very different. Fans expecting a non-stop offensive assault from Stevenson may be surprised, as he adapts his style to each opponent. Rather than relying on aggression alone, Stevenson prioritizes movement, timing, and strategy to control the pace and exploit weaknesses. Lopez's power and explosiveness present a serious threat, but Stevenson's calculated approach is designed to neutralize those strengths, setting the stage for a tactical chess match.
Because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out, And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like it's a big threat here to Shakur. And then they would all come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so damn good. But Teofimo has a way, when you're so damn good and he knows you're so damn good and everybody feels like you're going to beat him, there's just something about Teofimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who is that damn good. I've seen it. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen, okay? I'm just stipulating it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who wins this fight. Because again, your better head says Shakur, but then you think about, man, Teofimo. Again,
he's got the X factor.
What I just explained.
He's got the talent to
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat. And I don't ever want to hear any of you tank nut huggers that he fights one Uber driver after another. If Shakur Stevenson loses this fight, I don't ever want to hear any of you saying, oh, well, what about Shakur now? Tank this, tank that. Tank fights the guy that delivers my pizza. He fights the guys in the back that are doing the production. He fights the truck driver. I don't want to hear because he would never have gone.
Shakur Stevenson enters the ring with a reputation built on precision, intelligence, and adaptability. His ability to control distance, read opponents, and make adjustments mid-fight has consistently made him a difficult challenge for anyone he faces. Against Teofimo Lopez, those qualities will be tested by Lopez's raw power, speed, and aggressive style. Lamont Roach, who has closely observed Stevenson, believes the fight should not be viewed as chaotic, but as a battle of calculated control. He highlights Stevenson's footwork, timing, and anticipation, which allow him to dictate pace and flow. By staying composed and disciplined.
And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he's going to be very surprised come fight night to where it's like, you really thought I was slow? Like, is that something like you put in your brain and thought it was about to come out there and work?
It is interesting to hear, both of them talk about each other because there's probably not two guys that know each other better, that haven't fought, but have seen each other, been around each other, AMI tournaments and followed each other's career under the same promotional banner than Teo and Shakur, right? Outside of, again, sparring together, training together, that are about to fight each other, there's probably not guys that know how they operate better. So if Teo is saying, I'm going to go out there and make you quit, essentially break you and stop you, that's something we haven't seen anyone get close to even hurting Shakur, really. Like, people say the Williams-Zepeda fight, Zepeda hit him with the right hand and Shakur got wobbled, even though it was clearly slipped. I thought that was one of Shakur's better performances because he dug down and bit down on his mouthpiece and said, I'm not just going to play the back foot and be slick and turn this into a very low output fight that I'll win because I'm just, he's better than Zepeda. But he went out there and dogged it out a little bit, and I respected him for it. I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teofimo Lopez. I really don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Teo. He won't. And Teo won't fight the same way Williams-Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights, and Teo's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know. Not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive sweep.
Greg Hackett offers a calm and analytical prediction for the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez showdown. While acknowledging Lopez's explosive power, Hackett leans towards Stevenson winning by decision, citing his superior discipline, composure, and ring intelligence. He believes Stevenson's ability to manage distance, anticipate attacks, and adapt in real time gives him an edge over opponents who rely heavily on aggression. Hackett emphasizes that fights are often decided by timing and control rather than brute force, areas where Stevenson excels. With sharp defense and precise counterpunching, Stevenson is expected to avoid unnecessary risks and gradually outmaneuver Lopez, earning a hard-fought decision victory.